Well, we welcome you on this Thursday, and we're looking forward to God blessing in these next few days, and then, of course, our outreach week coming up. And I trust you're praying about that and asking God to work in a mighty way. I'm thrilled about folks that are coming. It's not been easy, but it has been the right thing, and we're praying for long-lasting results. And with that in mind, I'd like to go to a very familiar passage that, for me personally, is a great encouragement. As I grew up, I was deeply affected by my godly grandmother. My grandmother believed in prayer. She had a very personal walk with God. God had brought her to a place where she had a simple faith that He could do miracles and that His word was true. And that deeply affected my father, who made great faith decisions as a young man. And as a result, God was able to really use him. And so I saw that. And I remember over and over how my grandmother, when my dad would get into difficult situations in the ministry, would challenge him with the Word of God and pray and endeavor to get him to believe God that He can meet every need. And of course, we saw that happen over and over. On a number of occasions, my grandmother would give to me her favorite verses. As I would face any difficulty in my life, she would direct me to Jeremiah 33:3. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. And so today I want to encourage you. I don't know what you may be facing, but you're listening today and you're burdened. Call unto me. I love that little phrase, especially the word call. You'll find the word call and the word cry similar, and it has the idea of just with your whole heart calling out to God because you're in need. Crying out to God is a very important thing to do, because what that indicates is you're in need and you're no longer looking to yourself. You realize it's only God who can deliver you. And when you get into that kind of position, that's when God can work. Some of the prayers that I've seen answered the most quickly have been my cry out prayers, calling upon God. Lord, I need help. I don't know what to do. Well, of course, there are great scriptures that say I can have wisdom. God will lead and direct me. But at that moment, I didn't have a chance to even quote all those. I just said, Lord, help me. And God helps. It's so wonderful to see His gracious hand as He gives wisdom, as He puts the pathway open, as He answers, and you just see His hand immediately. Or you have the peace come that God is going to answer, and you start resting in Him. There are many different ways that God works when we call upon Him, but we need to call upon Him. And that may be right where you are right now. You're letting yourselves be overwhelmed with whatever circumstance it is. Cry out to God. Call upon Him. And I love what He says, I'll answer you. I'll answer you. Isn't that amazing? We have a God that hears and answers prayer. And He'll not only answer, He'll not only personally respond, but in responding, He always goes above what we ask or think. I love that verse there in Ephesians 3 that we so often quote, exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or even think. I've had so many times when God's done something and I just about said to somebody, oh, that's a tremendous answer to prayer. And I realized, I don't know if I ever prayed, I just thought it. The Lord just heard me. And He loves to do great and mighty things which thou knowest not. He does things that are God-sized, or He does them in a divine way. It may not seem big, but it's right. It's good. It's not exactly what we would have thought, but it's perfect. And you just are amazed. It is great and mighty because it is God's will and it is God's hand, and we see God in it. And so we need to really be encouraged that God will do things that we can't even understand, that thou knowest not. So friend, today, I just want to encourage you with the fact you got a God ready to answer. You say, well, I'm entrenched in a real problem. Well, ask for help. Cry out. Call upon Him. Have faith. Some things not right in your heart, get that right. Don't let there be any barrier. And then cry out to God. And my friend, He'll answer you. He'll answer you every time. That's why He has to put us in trials sometimes, to get us to call upon Him. But we need to make that just a course of our life, knowing that we can cry out to Him. And some of the greatest answers that you'll ever have will come from the simple crying out to God, asking God for help, calling upon Him, and then God can show Himself strong. It's so important that we glorify God, and so He waits for us to get helpless so that then He can show His power and His glory. So it's nothing today, my friend, that God's not just ignoring. He loves you. Why don't you call upon Him today?